boys and girls, because if if they are a group with only boys, they can make a skit about wars. They can fight each other, they can punch, they can kick their friend to make it more interesting. But between the boys and the girls in group, they can make a simple drama. For example, Cinderella. The girl can say, "Help me, my prince," and the boy will say, "I come, my princess." Something like that. It will be more engaging for them. From this activity, it can enhance their communication skills and also builds their confidence in terms of speaking English. It can, for rural area, it can they can just use simple English because they don't know much word of English, so we can just let them play their role. And also it can provide a practical application of language learning. That's all.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Anil, but can you please repeat from the part when you divided the boys and the girls?
For that particular part, we can let them choose whether they want to be in only boys group, or they can choose to be in the boys and girls group. We can let them choose.
Thank you, Mr. Alif, for sharing your idea. First of all, I don't really agree with Mr. Mazwandi's point, because there's not all students are visual learners. There are usually written learners, auditory learners, and visual learners. So not all students will be a visual learner. There is no proof of product that Mr. Mazwandi's idea that will probably work out. And then Mr. Rai, to touch on Mr. Rai's point, I think there is no proper metric or method to measure their progress based on what you said. Do you have anything to add on your point?
Sorry, what was that?
So, is there any method to measure the progress from your activity or progress of the students' English?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yukesh. As I said before, in the flashcard program, finally we can help the students to put these words they have learned in a sentence to turn into a conversation sentence. We can find, at last, we can use to test whether what have they learned during the flashcard session in a conversation program. We can ask them, okay, what have you learned today? Can you make a conversation sentence for me? Can you make a conversation with your friend? Okay, so is there any improvement before and after? Because obviously before they have no idea what to talk and what to use in a word in a sentence. So I see that as a measuring scale of what have they learned during the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. However, I still feel more confident with Mr. Anif's idea, because Mr. Anif's idea, which is a role-playing scenarios, the students are more likely to be active participants, which means they can have the moderators and the teachers who are conducting the program more likely to grab their 100% focus and attention by getting them involved. For example, students can be actively involved to finding interesting bombastic words to apply in their real life settings, which means and then I would also like to add that children require these types of actively involved activities, since our country has just came from huge worldwide lockdown. So they need this kind of face-to-face activities to probably be involved and improve their communication skills. So I think this Mr. Anif's idea will be more practical in rural areas, and also I also would like to talk about add on Mr. Aziz's point, which means where there will be can you please repeat your point?
Sure. So basically, my program is actually a PE program, so it's much more longer compared to just an activity to do like for 2 to 3 hours. But this program is actually very comprehensive program, which is we can include vocabulary session, we can include comprehension session, and also we can include speaking session, which is it includes several activities such as the explore race, which is I agree with Mr. Anif's idea, which is we can include that activity into the explore race idea, and of course Mr. Raiz's idea is actually part of the explore race idea. Basically, the explore race is some kind of an activity that will get them together and also improve their vocabulary session. The next is actually English movie review. It's like a reading comprehension, but it's in terms of visual, because I believe that in rural area they don't have as much as our resources in the urban area. But of course, English movie, it's very fun. We can do like Harry Potter movie, which is they have very good vocabulary, they have a very good English, and it's up to standard of British. So it definitely can help the students to actually learn about the new words. Okay, and also of course, whenever we have gain the knowledge, we need to what we say, like we need to give back the knowledge. So by doing the speaking movie debate session, movie debate session, which is they get the idea, they get the information based on the movie, so they can debate whether the movie is good or movie is bad. Because I believe that good and bad is very what we say very subjective. It's very subjective. So yes.
Sorry for interrupt, Mr. Haziq. So after, as you mentioned, you want to put the activity from Mr. Anif and Mr. Raiz to your exploration session.
I need to rephrase that. I'm not including their activity, but exploration is actually part of the activity of Mr. Raiz, and I would like to add Mr. Anif ideas, because it's actually very good. But in terms of role play, we can do like maybe 2 minutes or 3 minute session. It's not like a very long session.
I see. So I just want to know how much cost to use in this activity, which is I will go to exploration activities.
Exploration activity is actually would cost up to 200 to 300 ringgit, because it's actually consists of several equipments that we need to buy for them to play, and also that actually balance of that exploration we can do like a food. We can reserve some of the money for the food, but for the English movie review and for the debate session, that doesn't cost anything.
Thank you, Mr. Haziq. I think after hearing your detailed explanation, Mr. Haziq's idea is very, very practical. But then I would like to add Mr. Anif's previous point, which is language games. I see a lot of negative side for this idea, because nowadays there's a lot of digital platforms that can conduct this kind of language games. So I think it's very hard to grab children's 100% attention and focus, because we will not know how many children that would actually participate and would do the language games without getting distracted, because there are a lot of more attractive applications than the language games. So I feel there is a negative side from Mr. Anif's previous point. Would you like to add something?
Yes, I would like to add a little bit point, because from the language games, we can change it into storytelling sessions. We can encourage the groups of students to create their own short stories, because from short stories we can actually promote the creativity of the students, and also their language and public speaking skills, so they can be more confident to talk on the stage, even though it's a rural area.
So back to Mr. Chalan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah. I need to analyze the point.
Sure.
So while waiting for that, it's actually, I think Excel English Day is actually a very good program. For me, in my perspective, it is very good program because it's a very comprehensive program because it includes every factors that have in English, vocabulary session, speaking, listening in terms of an English movie review. Definitely, they will need to listen to the words and how to pronounce the words correctly. So, that is that.
I agree with Mr. Aziz because I think even though it costs money, we have to fund it because it's important to bring up our children and students from rural areas because even students from rural areas need to go into achieving success not only in national level but also in international level. So I really agree with doing this Excel Day to improve rural area students' English.
Exactly, I am completely in favor of the idea.
Also to add, I really like your idea of the movie literature review, and also like to add a few ideas on that. We can do a session where students or the rural students can kind of create questions based on the movie, and also like in the middle of the movie, the lecturer can or the teacher can ask a question based on the movie. So while they're watching the movie, they are creating question and they are asked question. So like simple question, for example, what's the name of the main character? So if we can use this kind of so that they will be punctual while watching the movie. Also, they can improve their language skills.
Thank you, Mr. Rais. Yeah, I really agree with Mr. Aziz's point on movie review because for Asians, movies are a sense of escapism from the reality of work, which means every weekend they go to movie to spend their time and reduce their stress. So using movie as a medium to improve their English language is very thoughtful idea in my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, now as we approach our closing, okay, firstly I would like to thanks all of you for the valuable opinion. So, so this is my 2 cents. First and foremost, I agree with Mr. Rais, which start with basic is good. But I think that our student in SK Bumusa is not that bad because I think as they are students, primary students, I think they would know walk is jalan, makan is eat. I think that simple words they would know. I think that so that's first, and then I would like to choose for this discussion. I would like to choose Mr. Haziz's opinion, which is the Excel English Day. But maybe we can separate the debate session because I think debate session is too advanced for the student. I think. And then also the second choice I will choose Mr. Alim's opinion because Mr. Alim's opinion I think is very because the objective is not only to improve our student English speaking but also to have fun amongst them because we know kids is imaginary so that they like to storytelling, they like to acting and so on. So I think opinions and ideas from Mr. Aziz and Mr. Alim will be practical and lovable for the student and all of us that involved in this program. And I think at the end of the program we may make the movies, show the movies to the student as the rewards, and then they may learn new words from the movies like Kung Fu Panda. Because when I was 6, when I watched Kung Fu Panda, I also cannot differentiate between impossible and possible. Okay, gentlemen, so that's all from me. So let's end this meeting with hand clapping.
Okay, thank you very much. You may stop the recording. Okay, so